Hello again, everyone. Welcome to the latest edition of the Brian Boyer Show. Along with A-State head women's basketball coach Brian Boyer, I'm Brad Bobo, joining you off as well about as good a week as the A-State women's basketball team could have last week. 2 wins. Coach, that started off at home, in-state action. UALR came to town, and we sort of come to expect what we got between these two teams as the Red Wolves come out on top in a thriller, 70-69.
Well, I think history had shown that the way they had played all year, if to win it, it was going to have to be a thriller. If it wasn't going to be a thriller, it probably wasn't going to be in our favor because of the way they'd just blown so many people out. Margin of victory of over 20 in their 9 wins in conference, and but we matched them. We played very well. We're just good enough on defense, and we were really, really good on offense. And the biggest thing is we just seemed to be able to match every possession when we needed.
Enough talking about it. Let's get to some highlights at the Convocation Center. Big crowd on hand for an in-state doubleheader as your team comes out and really, from the beginning, very efficient on offense in this one.
Well, you see the jump shot there by Gamble. Now, you're not going to see many of those in the first half. She had a real tough time in that first half. But we had enough other players. Jess Flannery comes off the bench and first possession down the court, she knocks down a 3. And you see here again another really good move by Gamble on that one, splitting the double team on the ball screen. There's Lawson comes in, gets in on the action. We had really good inside presence, which I thought was key to this game of Jasmine and also Lawson. We needed to find ways to score inside.
Saw an example back there a couple of plays ago in transition. Gamble sort of dictates so much attention that she can sort of get you to leave someone else open down the floor.
Well, she does, and and that's again where part of the inside scoring there. But again, just one of those games where everybody's involved. We just saw Khadijah with the steal and the layup, and Hannah was 100% from 3. Go back inside to Lawson, and here's Brittany Gill getting loose inside. Even Brittany Gill with the back-to-back really good games for her, and Khadijah's really been struggling. Injured her ankle up at Troy, but continues to play through it, and was able to knock down a 3 as well.
You see Hannah Cadan, and maybe this is just a byproduct of feeling healthier, a lot more confident this season, going toward the basket.
Yeah, much more, and I think you even see it more in her rebounding. Lately she's really been able to extend up and get in traffic and get a lot of rebounding, things that she would not have done in the past years. She wouldn't have had the confidence to do that. So then we get to the second half, and as we've come accustomed to, Gamble starts to take over a little bit. Again, here's Brittany Gill just being aggressive, getting in on the offensive boards, and here again Gamble, what a great move that is on a inbounds play. And as teams just seem to wear down, she just gets better and better, and here she is again, or actually that's Brittany Gill again there attacking on the baseline for another layup. Talk
about players who are playing with confidence on the offensive end. Brittany Gill certainly is in that category right now.
Well, she's finding ways to staying within herself. She's getting to the basket. She's finding offensive rebounds and putbacks. She's jump shots. Here's an example there, just being in the right place, getting offensive rebounds. And again, that's who Brittany Gill is. She's an energy player, and she doesn't have to go seek out scoring. Just it comes to her. And again, there's the great shot by Hannah, the 3. And then how about this shot? Left-handed shot there, gets the and one 3-point play.
Which, by the way, as it turns out, was your last field goal in this ball game. You'll see some defense and maybe a couple of free throws coming up, but you go the last 5.5 minutes without a bucket.
Well, we did, as you said, we did make the free throws. Gamble gets fouled on a 3-point shot, hits 3 free throws, a couple other free throws in there, and then obviously none bigger than that there as Jazz knocks down those 2 free throws, put us up 1, and we were trying to trap Galt there and didn't quite get to the trap, but certainly was effective enough to make her have to rush while she gets a shot off. It's nowhere close, and so again, Brittany and Jamie did a really good job of rushing her, getting her out of control there on that last shot.
70-69 is the final. Hands UALR its first conference loss. Sort of keeps you, as you said at the time, keeps your goals toward winning a Sunbelt Conference championship alive, and it's not just lip service. And you came back after that game, and you're very complimentary of UALR. there aren't very many teams that come into the Convocation Center, give up 56% shooting, 6 for 6 from the three-point line, and lose by 1. You're going to blow most teams out with those numbers.
Well, yeah, no question. I mean, great shooting all around the board. But again, Little Rock's really good. They're as good as they've ever been, and that's why their RPI is in the low 40s. And we're fortunate to get the win. But it again keeps us within the game, so to say, of the conference race. And we're down now to after Georgia State, we're down to 8 games, and we're still only 1 game out. We still get to go to Little Rock, so hopefully we can just keep ourselves within reach, because again, you just don't expect them to lose.
As Coach said, after the UALR win, it kept the goal of winning the conference championship alive for at least 2 more days. That's when A-State headed to Georgia State. We'll recap a road win in Atlanta after this timeout on the Brian Boyer Show.
Can't stop, won't stop. Where the bricks at? I give him that diddy bop. Make moves or make excuses. Don't got the power. Shut me down. That's not enough. I'm my biggest problem. Don't got the power. Shut me down. That's not enough. You can't stop me.
Welcome back to the Brian Boyer Show. Arkansas State won at home on Thursday night, got up Friday morning, traveled to Atlanta to play a pretty early tip against Georgia State on their campus. There's a lot of challenges in there, not just the opponent, but just the process of getting there for an early tip on Saturday.
Yeah, it is. And now, and again, you and I talked about this in the pregame show. Both teams had some challenges because Georgia State was at UT Arlington Thursday night, so they had to travel as well. But another one of those decision deals. How exactly to handle it. And we played Thursday night. We got up and actually practiced at 8 a.m. The next morning for about an hour before getting on the bus. Long bus ride to Atlanta, and then we actually went into the arena and did a walkthrough Friday night. Just because it's such an early tip, we weren't going to get a game day shoot around walkthrough, so able to try to accomplish all that in that same day on Friday.
61-47, the final in this one, and you ended up facing sort of a drastically different looking Georgia State team than you prepared for.
Yeah, we did. Their post player, Logan, who, is the focal point of their team, ends up not playing. And, everything from, the film breakdown to the walkthroughs, all their set plays run through her. Even as much as in the locker room prior to the game, she was the key points of how to stop her. And, she doesn't play, and it changes their team and changes their style quite a bit. They went smaller. They went much more athletic, depended a lot more on trying to shoot the three, attack off the dribble. So, our players really had to just kind of adjust throughout the flow of the game, and, they did a good job of that.
And the second half is interesting. You scored 32 points in the second half of this ball game. 27 of them were from Drea Gamble and Jasmine Hunt combined. Something you don't see out of your team a lot, but the thing I think that's probably maybe the best part of that is, honestly, I didn't notice it watching the ball game. Had to see the stat sheet to realize that it happened. It sort of was in the flow.
No, I would agree with that. I would agree. Now, again, I think there were some stretches you felt with Drea where, she was, certainly try to take over. We had a real shot early. We got up 15 right out of the locker room shortly after coming out of the locker room. Really had a chance to put them away, and we didn't. They get back in it, and there were some tense moments, I guess, where they've cut it into single digits, and Drea felt like she needed to take over, which she did. She took over and got some scores. But Jasmine, again just kind of did her job. She was able to be strong posting. She got to the free throw line a lot. She got some offensive rebounds. Again, as I've said with her lately, just stayed within herself and did what Jasmine's capable of doing.
The thing with Jasmine is that she just comes across maybe as so much maybe mentally tougher than previous times in her career. She was a kid that if stuff didn't go right early, she may get her head down. Now she can miss a couple of shots like she did Saturday at Georgia State and come back and still have a huge half in the second half.
Well, I think it's not only her, but then I think the teammates approached her just as well, because again, they're not giving her a chance because they're going to keep throwing it inside. They're going to keep giving her chances, and you don't have a lot of time to dwell on it. But she has really become a great presence for us, and especially in a game like that where their starting post doesn't play. She was an advantage for us. She was a mismatch for us in our favor, and she played a good game.
So A-State goes and gets another win on the road in Sun Belt Conference play, improving to 10-2 in the conference, still one half game back of UALR. And as you mentioned now, even though you dropped a couple of games along the way, you're back in control of your own destiny. Now, there's no wiggle room, but your team is in control of its own destiny in the Sun Belt standings.
Well, that's correct. I mean, we went out, we're going to be conference champs because we would have the sweep over Little Rock. And, and again, as I keep saying, it's unfortunate, but it almost feel like you have to do that because how well Little Rock's played this year. Now, they've still got some road challenges ahead, so you never know what can happen. And, we just got to continue to just take care of our games, continue to just win, control our games, and win as we go along here, and we'll see what happens.
Just as was the case a couple of weekends ago down in Troy, the Trojans come in here sort of right behind you in the standings. I think it's 2.5 games. They're tied with Texas State now, but they still want to be factors in this thing, and I think the Trojans realize to do that, they need to come to the Convocation Center Thursday and get a win.
Yeah, that was a big win for us down at their place, to get a game to separate us there, and then they got defeated at UT Arlington this weekend, so we pick up another one there. But, we're at that point now. After Thursday night, we'd be down to 7 games, and a win would put us 3 games apart from Troy. So, not only facing the top with Little Rock staying there, but also trying to separate yourself from the others. And, so Thursday's another big game for that reason.
5 out of the last 8 at the Convocation Center, so hopefully, that a big home crowd can play a factor coming down the stretch.
And we've played pretty well at home, not always full games, but we've had really, even in games we haven't played particularly well, we've had big bursts, at home to separate and get wins. And it's this season's about to wrap up, and you've got a team here that has played really well, is doing something special. I've put on Twitter a couple times over the last week or so, our RPI now is in the 50s, and while last year we won 22 games and, won the league, our RPI never even got into the top 100 last year. So I think it tells you how well this team is playing against stiff competition. Hopefully the fans will continue to come out, support, and help us down this stretch run.
Well, it promises to be a fun one. A-State and Troy Thursday at 5:05, front end of another Thursday Sun Belt doubleheader. These two teams combined for almost 160 points a couple of weeks ago. Should be another high-scoring affair Thursday. Coach, congratulations on the big week last week. We'll see you Thursday at the Convo.
All right, thanks, Brad.
Until then, until the next edition of the Brian Boyer Show, for the head coach, I'm Brad Bobo. So long, everyone.